Behind the Counter is sponsored by
GoDaddy.com. Sign up for a new account and get your domain name for only $2.49 by using promo code Queens at checkout.
All right, hello and welcome everybody to another fantastic episode of Behind the Counter. We're back after a 2-week hiatus. We're alive and doing well. I'm your host, Rich Stambolian, and with me, as always, is the man from Dimension X.
hiatus.
Hiatus, Jonathan Adler.
I got
hiatus.
I got a bad case of the hiatus.
I got the hiatus. Yeah, my hiatus is acting up.
Burning.
Welcome once again to your number one-stop shop for pop culture, comic book news, TV stuff,
Sofa beds,
dudes talking,
Armoires.
Check the armoire.
Small Trey Lounge.
We're back, ASL, bro. What's going on?
Florida Lores.
I thought it was called the Florida Lore. So what's up?
You know what's up.
I know it's up. For those of you that don't know, we just came back from my bachelor party in New Orleans, and boy,
10 minutes ago.
is my
My abdomen really sore.
Yeah, my abdomen really sore. I'm such an idiot. Like I had to drink on the plane on the way back.
I had just a miserable plane ride.
I had a great plane ride, but like we hit like so much turbulence,
so did I.
and I was like, you know what? Like, let me just go to sleep. If I die, I die. That's it.
I'm okay with dying on air.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It's weird, right?
Yeah. I am.
Because I make your peace with it, and you're fine.
I think there's also a part of us that I think the same thing with like we kind of men. I think kind of wish for the apocalypse to happen to like in a weird way. We want the reset button and we want to see how we function in that world.
I think the older you get, the more you want the apocalypse to happen.
Yeah, I'm ready.
You want the reset.
But I think also part of us thinks we're going to survive it and have some weirdo like lost adventure.
Oh no, definitely. I
You
would
can have the piece of metal stuck in your abdomen.
yeah. I like the thing with the plane crashing. I'm fine with it. Like I made my peace with it, and like if you die, you die. That's it. There's nothing you can do. But I'm like, well, I hope it's really quick, as opposed to like you said, just like getting impaled on like a piece of the fuselage.
Yeah, you wake up and you like suspended in the air.
Yeah, for like 3 days, and then like you just die, and nobody finds you.
What do you fly back on?
Delta.
Delta's awful.
Delta's awesome.
They are. How is that possible? You're bigger than I am. Mm-hmm. The seats are so tiny.
Let me tell you about that. On the way there, I got a free upgrade to the aisle 5.
See, that's what I should have done. Man. I know it makes all the difference in the world.
Nobody was sitting next to me. You know who sat next to me? The bag of comics that I brought.
I had Paulie D on my plane.
Okay. Sit on my face, Paulie D.
Sit on my face. And I also had I was in the aisle seat, and I had a very passive aggressive woman next to me and a guy who I think was dead on the window, and it could have been a gremlin. And my hips are wide, so I kind of wish that they would just lift up the
and they don't lie.
The arm. They never lie.
Yeah.
I wanted to lift up the arm so I can have that little bit of extra space. I'm not going to touch you.
Right.
You're probably going to fall asleep and touch me more than anything.
You flew Delta back?
Yeah.
Okay.
I flew JetBlue there, and it was fine.
JetBlue's great. They're fine. Like
they give away
I'm
free
fine
stuff
with
too.
Yeah, I'm fine with those seats in JetBlue. On the way back though, I planned ahead, and when I checked in, it was like, "Do you want to upgrade to like the big seat, like the number 5?"
That's what I was going to.
$39. I paid for it.
No,
I sat there, and then I ended up sitting next to like 3 really weird Indian guys. And then the guy next to me,
the whole time.
No, like they fell asleep and just like kind of being weird. And we're right behind first class, and there's a dude who the stewardess or the flight attendant now was like, you like skinny guy, go switch with your switch with your big fat friend that's in the back. And this dude was just like the biggest Indian guy I've ever seen in my life, and he had to hit the belt.
Great collie.
He had to get the belt extender. And
really?
Yeah, he had the belt extender, and then everybody's kind of like, all right, you're okay. Like his friends are like breaking his chops. As soon as the plane started moving, this guy fell asleep and started snoring like a mother.
Is this on the way back?
It's on the way back. The funny thing about that,
this doesn't sound like a good experience.
I had my headphones on. I got noise canceling headphones and like a couple of whiskeys. I was blasting music and like tuning. I was cool. But the people in front of me in first class were just like somebody shut that guy
I
up. They
paid
were
for silence.
exactly like they were so mad at this poor dude for like sleeping on the plane. But we hit a ton of turbulence. I fell asleep. I'm like, you know what? I'm falling asleep. If I wake up in heaven, I'm in like whatever. And that's it. And then we landed, and I came home and had a slice of pizza and went to bed.
Oh, I had a pizza when I came home too.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, because we walked by a bunch of places that had pizza that we did not want that pizza.
I had a nice grandma slice.
The last night was interesting. The last night me and Brian had was interesting.
Yeah, I had to tap out, man. Like I was done.
We kind of called it night early on too, but Brian ended up going out, but we ended up getting like more hurricanes and more pina coladas and stuff like that. So I was on a pina colada kick.
I know, man.
I loved them.
They were so sweet.
I really wanted sweet, refreshing drinks while I was there. But Brian didn't. He had a hurricane and went back out alone.
Oh yeah.
And but he left the hurricane there, and he had a much earlier flight than I did. So I had the room to myself, and I saw like the melted hurricane there. So I downed the entire hurricane before I got on the plane.
Oh man.
And I was feeling it. It's like that slow build up or anything. But the taxi cab driver, that dude played nothing but gospel. Marvin Gaye on the way there. It was such a wonderful thing. And then once I got there, the TSA was rocking.
Yeah.
Did you have? Oh my god!
I got there. My flight was at 1:44. I got out of the room a little bit before 11. I had breakfast, and I was like, you know what? Let me get to the airport as soon as I can. I hopped in a cab, got to the airport. It took me 10 minutes to get to my gate. Yeah, it was 1, 2. I got scanned. I forgot to bring your mustard. I got scanned. I got scanned twice because the TSA did they checked my hands for bomb stuff, and I was like, "What are you guys doing?" And he's like, "We're seeing if you were making bombs today." And I'm like, "All right, that's what this machine does." He's like, "Yeah." So then I get like a tap on the shoulder, like, "Is this your bag?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like,
"No mustard.
We have to check your bag." And on the screen, it looked like I had a bomb in the bag. Because your mustard thing is a little cylinder and it's stuffed in my shoe, and I had all my wires from my mini charger, like my mini USBs, my phone charger,
plastic.
So and like a couple of the one of the wires is like a pigtail. What is that? Is it coming through the back? One of the wires is like a pigtail. So it looks like a bomb basically in my bag. So the lady's like, "What do you have in your bag?" I'm like, honestly, like my friend forgot his mustard. We went to the Beta company and I put his mustard jar in my shoe. So she's like, all right. So she like,
we have to remember these lines because that's out of context. It's a very nice string of words. My friend forgot his mustard, so I put it in my shoe.
And she's like, all right. She's like rifling through it. I was like, maybe the machines went off because it's spicy mustard. And she was just like, all right, get out of here. She was charmed by it.
Yeah, not for nothing. That was the best goddamn mustard I've ever had.
Yeah,
it was so good.
I got to give you your mustard back.
I need my mustard.
And I got Tony's swim trunks.
I didn't show you what I got for Jen.
No, you didn't.
Me and Brian went shopping before we went to the Halloween parade. So I went to the French market. And she likes owls, and it's very hard to find owl stuff when you're in New Orleans. But lo and behold, I found this one guy selling like iced out like necklaces.
Sweet.
And I got this gigantic gigantic owl head like crusted in diamonds and like a big silver chain.
Very nice. That's a gangster owl.
It was really gangster.
Very cool.
She'll never wear it ever. But.
I got half yelled at for not bringing the girl back anything, and then
what?
And then 10 minutes later she goes, what would you have gotten me anyway? I was like, yeah.
Hurricane mix.
Hurricane mix, baby. Those Pat O'Brien's Hurricanes, man.
Do it every time.
Top of the rocks.
Do it.
Pat O'Brien?
Pat O'Brien.
As in the TV person.
It's funny. There's the second joke we've done about this. No. But that's every time we did talk about that, we did think about Pat O'Brien and his his sex tape. When he did his sex tape. The calls. He left the dirty voicemails. I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna throw up on your back.
I'm gonna eat your lollipops.
It's so hot.
It's so hot.
I'm gonna wink at you.
It was the best trip. It was the most fun trip I've ever had, and it was the first time just like being away with a bunch of dudes.
I would have liked to have ventured beyond Bourbon Street. I mean, there's so much more city to see.
Yeah,
and I'd like to venture away from Bandstand. The
Friday night Bandstand was ridiculous. Tony owned it.
Yeah,
destroyed it.
Yeah, Tony is a phenomenon about himself.
He's when I went to that party last night. I wanted Tony to be there in the worst way because it was just like the dance.
Yo, he's a murderer, man.
The dance.
Yeah, he's a murderer. Like that guy he really impressed everyone in New Orleans.
You would have liked the dude at the party last night, the guy who hosted it, because he's his name's Salim. So he's like,
Salim.
He's got like the year-round tan.
Yeah.
But he took that a step further and did blackface, which was really weird. And he had like dreads, right? So I'm like, what are you supposed to be, man? And he's like, I don't know, like Bob Marley. And I was like, and they were red dreads in like a red like do-rag, and I was like, I think somebody sold your friend a Raggedy Ann costume and told him it was Bob Marley.
You want this, brother?
Yeah. So give me some comic news, bro.
You caught me off guard. We really didn't have much going on. The biggest thing that's going on this week is the fact that Sandman's out.
Oh man,
That's all
Sandman.
the news that is fit to print.
I think that's all the news that we should talk about because this was number one.
Daredevil's getting canceled, number 36.
Right. Yeah.
Which will come to. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a relaunch, but they haven't announced what the creative team is on there. But yeah, we'll talk about Sandman.
Soft relaunch. Number one, like Sandman is one of your favorite comics, I'm assuming.
I think it's pretty good.
It's pretty good. It's one of my favorite comics. Just as a whole work of art, it's pretty unbeatable. It's there. It's up there, And this is even before like all of fandom ate it, and especially like this is if you want to get a chick into comics, Sandman is the go-to.
That was the go-to. I use that. I use Fables. I use. I
think now it's Saga.
Why Last Man, and definitely Saga.
Why Last Man too. Why Last Man's a good one.
A lot of the Brian K. Vaughan stuff.
Yeah,
the sensitive dudes
who loves the ladies.
Yeah.
But like the whole Neil Gaiman thing opens it up for like his writing, and like I've met a million women in my life who are obsessed with Neil Gaiman, and I'm marrying one.
Yeah.
But you as a fan, you're kind of like, all right, one and done. Garth Ennis will never do another Preacher. Well, I thought Brian Azzarello wouldn't come back to 100 Bullets, but lo and behold, he did.
Unfortunately.
And, like Alan Moore will never do anything
else.
like anything that, that would warrant a sequel or anything like that. And Neil Gaiman fell into that same category of like, you know what? Like, it's all is said and done. He's, oh, man.
Uh-oh. I'm getting emotional.
I was gonna sneeze into the microphone.
Can I
sneeze into the microphone?
Rich gets
In the microphone?
Yeah. Can I just like? Ooh.
I don't think so.
That's not.
Rich gets really emotional every time he talks about Neil Gaiman.
Get it out.
They do the man tears.
So, you think it's one and done, but in our lifetime, this dude came back. How many years later?
Wow. Well, I mean, he still put out those like those Japanese the Dream Hunter things but like official Sandman stuff. I mean, I was the Wake came out when I was in junior high, I think.
Okay,
so I'll do some research. Talk a little bit.
So let's say like 90s.
Yeah,
98. Let's say was the end of Sandman.
maybe
I think
even earlier than that.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe. Go ahead.
I feel like 98 was the end of Sandman. Like the last issue of Sandman dropped in 98. I don't know why that number sticks into my head.
It could be.
But, it's 2013, and you're getting not only Sandman, you're getting a Neil Gaiman written Sandman, not written by anybody else, and you're getting friggin' J.H. Williams III.
Who's the king? That guy is the king of art.
Yo, man. And I don't know if you felt the same way, but when you read that issue number 1 that came out yesterday, did you
96.
know? 96. Okay, wow. So almost 20 years ago, Sandman was ended.
Yeah.
And this dude is still pretty young for the most part, and he's married to a crazy lady.
And he's a major novelist now too.
Right. Major novelist, and this dude came back to his baby. Did you wish that J.H. Williams III could go back and draw the entire series?
Yes.
Right?
What I really...
Not a knock on anybody else.
No. But what I think was so effective about the issue and the way that J.H. Williams III kind of carries the art is that he kind of did a tribute to almost every incarnation of Sandman art possible.
Right.
Like there was the super hyper detailed stuff. There was the painted style. I was really, really into it. I was stuck on this two pages for a very long time. The George Portocalis stuff, the black and white, like the hand drawn stuff, is so freaking gorgeous. Everything this guy does is kind of tremendous, and I think that if he is ever allowed to do, I would love to see this guy do restoration work when it comes to like old stuff and drawing over it and reimagining stuff.
I completely agree with that. Were you also blown away? The book basically it's the Dream King is being summoned somehow.
Something's wrong. Yeah.
Right. Something's wrong. He doesn't know what it is yet, but it seems like the Endless are kind of like, yeah, he's gonna go through like some weird shit again.
And this is all pre everything.
Right.
The entire Sandman run. This is like before he gets captured by the in the bubble for 100 years.
So this is probably gonna lead into his capture.
Exactly,
but
but I think it's also because Death was the one talking to Destiny in the early part of it, saying like, oh, I brought him to the edge of the universe and stuff. I think they're all anticipating his end.
Right.
And this is like him buckling for that.
Mm. And you get that awesome beginning on another planet where he's like the Dream King of Venus flytraps, which is so cool.
And know what's interesting too about that little scene? How much I didn't realize how much I missed the different incarnations of Morpheus.
Right.
With like him seeing him as like a black and white flower.
Right. Like, because it's him and it's so obvious,
Yeah.
Like if you're a fan, you're kind of like, that's him.
Yeah.
And then, like being like the gentleman, like the old-timey gentleman, and then the regular Dream King, and then putting on the gas mask, and then finding all the other Dream Kings in the universe.
Yeah.
Which was really, really cool. And like, it's kind of neat how, like it was such a good, it didn't suck. It was amazing. It was like, this is how this is a comic book. This is why you love comics, and it's going to take you on an awesome adventure. You know? And it was under the Vertigo banner, which I really appreciate too.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
And at least they're publishing some stuff, and aside from the regular stuff.
Yeah.
I was really happy with it. When I first picked it up, though, I saw it was like a giant size issue. And I'm reading it digitally, so I can't see how many pages it is.
Right.
So I picked that up, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to save this. I saved it for like one of the last things I read during the course of the night. I read it on my big screen television. And it really is
beautiful.
It's a stunning work. And it's amazing to see a creator, who spent so much time with the character, been away from the character for as long as he has been regularly in this type of, and I'm not talking about the Dream Hunter stuff where it's under the limitations or the strengths of that type of series, but coming back to the original type of story and not feel dated or filler.
Right. Yeah.
It does seem like he does have a story to tell out of this.
I'll agree with that completely. It seems very natural.
Yeah.
I really want to look forward to when you get the books digitally. Do you? And I always ask you this, and I always forget.
Do I get the ads?
Do you get the ads?
Some do, some don't. They've been trying. For the most part, there is no ads.
Okay, because this book was just filled with like oddly placed, like almost like cinematic credits style ads, where you flip the first couple of pages, and then all of a sudden it would be like a double ad of like, check out Neil Gaiman's other books, check out this, and then like you flip it again, and it's a couple of pages of story, and then another like J.H. Williams III did Promethea with Alan Moore, and then like another one, and it was like kind of loaded in an awkward way with ads. I think ads should be kept for the end of the book.
I think so. I think for the prestige books, they should be, held off until the end of the story.
Yeah.
But they're trying to think of it the same way they do as television. Just throw commercials in the middle of it, which I think is disjointing.
It is because like it's just an odd thing to do. Like you're gonna flip through the book anyway. Just put it in the back.
Yeah, man. And they don't want you to miss. They think that once you get to that point, you're gonna just skip over them, which you probably are.
Just stop.
I finished American Gods, his first novel.
Very cool.
What a book, man.
Yeah, I read a little bit of it.
You should read the whole thing.
It's very intimidating.
You know what? I finished it on the plane mostly.
Okay.
So 2 plane rides, I finished, I don't know, half the book.
Nice.
And he's the man. He is the man.
That guy's a good writer.
I really like to see where he's going with his Marvel involvement.
Yes.
In terms of the Miracle Man stuff.
I want to see that, and like I keep thinking like for the past 3 months, I'm like, this is the issue of Guardians of the Galaxy. He's coming on.
He's not doing it.
This is the issue.
He's not doing it. He's already pulled out of it.
Did he?
He was supposed to be on the premiere issue of Angela.
Okay.
But now they're saying that no. But they are probably announcing Angela as a solo series. It may be him.
Yeah.
I think for some reason Kieran Gillen's the one that's
sticking into your head.
Yeah. I told you my theory about him, about Angela.
Did we talk about this on the trip, or did we talk about this on the show?
We talked about it on the trip.
Yeah,
when I was reading your issue of Battle of the Atom.
Oh, that. Go ahead.
So there's a rumor going around that Ms. Marvel, they're resurrecting the name Ms. Marvel for one of the characters. They're kind of happy with Carol Danvers being Captain Marvel for the most part.
Right.
But there's also the next big storyline for Guardians of the Galaxy and for like the all new X-Men is a crossover, which is a really weird thing to do. Like to have Guardians of the Galaxy interact with
The X-Men.
the X-Men,
Yeah.
and the original X-Men at that. But it's all for a story called Trial of Jean Grey. Now, there's no, aside from young Jean Grey, there's not a lot of, connection to Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, we know the story of Angela, that she's, this, warrior woman from a place called Heaven, and she hunts the spawns, and that's obviously not the case anymore here.
Right.
There's a theory going around that Angela is the grown-up young Jean Grey
From
the time-skipped one, like the Zorn, woman.
Okay.
It's her, like, in the near future, like now time travel to our time.
Okay.
And she is, eventually Angela is going to become our new Ms. Marvel.
The regular Angela will cease being Angela and become Ms. Marvel.
Ms. Marvel.
Okay. It's interesting. Marvel does love the redheads.
That's what I'm saying. You have these two redheads and you got to do something with them. You got to put them together.
I like the theory. I think it would be completely awesome and like comic books, baby.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I think they're gonna if Gaiman's not. I could see that since Gaiman, it just seems like he's not gonna do it.
He's not going to do it.
But I like that theory. I do like the theory that Angela's actually Jean Grey. Like a weird alternate kind of. I remember this.
I think so, because are you pretty up to date with Guardians of the Galaxy for the most part?
For the most part, yeah.
So like every issue's been ending with like a big Angela thing, which is Angela showing up. They're putting so much weight behind this character.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like, I don't think it's translating to sales or anything like that. So I have to believe that they have some type of long term, plan for her.
Well, yeah, because the last issue, I didn't read the one from Wednesday, but the last one I read was
Frank Avala, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
was I think they kind of agreed to like be friends.
Yeah.
And then go
shows up
back to
again.
Earth, and then which is fine. I want to see another fight with her and Gamera.
Yeah, you'll get it.
Which is kind of cool. It's a weird thing, man. Like, because you like again, like we do this on the wrestling show, and we have to do it on this show. We have to speculate and be like, this is what I want to see. This is what I want my comic book WrestleMania to be next year. Who's Angela gonna be?
I think I really hope she's gonna be a Jean Grey. I think that would give some validity to the character. Her as a weirdo angel doesn't do it for me.
No,
not in this universe.
Okay, because Marvel doesn't really do the heaven and hell. They do the hell stuff a lot. They're heavy on the hell stuff, but they never do.
They never do the heaven.
They never do the heaven apart from Jack Kirby helping the Thing. In that
yes, like Jack Kirby's God, or they do something with Straczynski where he wants to put God into the book.
Right, but like they never go with heavy-handed heaven stuff.
Gets weird. I think as you start saying, because I think it's weird to have it in a world where you have like the Norse mythology and you have all the clashing of the different universes.
Right.
And I think it gets weirdly, I don't know, too real when it gets to like a Christian god.
Right.
Like even I feel the same way when like they start talking about Spectre, and like I like when they keep it like kind of. Spectre's a character that is so in tune with religion that when they start talking about like, oh, the creator is the one that is above me or anything, I think it's a little weird too.
Okay, yeah, because it's not. There's no place in comics for that.
It's not that it doesn't have a place in comics. I don't think that. I think it diminishes the value of say like an All Father.
Okay.
Or like the Living Tribunal or the Builders and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where you have this like these heavenly bodies that are kind of established that they invented the universe, and then it's like, oh, but by the way, there's also the guy in the big beard.
Well, that's what they do. Like there's I think it was in Greg Pak's Hercules run. I think in Thor also where they're like, well, I'm not the All Father because there's another one.
Yeah,
and like they'll kind of like do that nod of like
Pac definitely did that in Hercules,
right? We're like, oh, you thought we answered to each other? No.
It's the other guy.
The boss.
The boss. He's watching, not doing anything.
Boss man
he doesn't do anything.
Hates us. So like they're on the payroll. Like all those guys are on the cosmic payroll.
But I feel the same way when I'm reading something like I love Infinity. Like I love the mythology that's adding into it and everything. But like I grew up with a lot of like my universe was known by what I read in Silver Surfer. So it was like my big guys were like, oh, like God is the living tribunal,
eternity, and
the stranger, and the chaos and order, and like that guy, and the in-betweener, and all that stuff. So that was like my holy beings.
Yeah.
And then and those are people who like invented the universe, and they had celestials above them and everything.
Right.
The celestials are the big guys. So even when they introduce the builders that are like the architects of the known universe and all universes, it gets me a little like,
a little too much.
But I love it. But I still.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then you also have like when you throw that into there, like Galactus was the survivor of the last universe, the only survivor of the first universe.
Yes.
And then showing up and like it's Marvel handles it way better. DC directly puts that in your grill. You know, like I remember when Jonathan Kent died and Superman or like he went to heaven and then saw Kal-El. What was that? Was that it? Saw Kal-El in heaven.
Yeah,
and then
said
like you got to come back.
Yeah.
And then he brought like that's how Superman came back, or like his dying dad. He's like his on the verge of death father.
That was the Return of Superman.
Right.
That was the as soon as Death of Superman happened, they had like a 2-issue thing following like the mourners.
Right.
And then they had like Jonathan Kent has a heart attack and he's in the hospital.
Right.
And he's in limbo talking to him. He's like, "Oh, you gotta go back." And then he's like, maybe I won't go back. And then like these show him like going to darkness, and then the 4 Superman stars.
Right. Yeah. Very interesting.
So weird.
But DC will throw that.
Because they have like things like John Constantine was part of the Major World, and like they did a lot of stuff with Christian mythology. The Phantom Stranger is now,
Judas Iscariot.
Judas,
I don't like that. I think it's a little ridiculous.
I hate it. I hate it. We have our own idea for Phantom Stranger that we like.
Yeah.
I would even go like, I like Phantom Stranger being really, you don't know what he is.
Right. I do like the idea of like maybe he's Superman and Wonder Woman's kid,
I don't like the question thing either.
And then his name's Bruce.
When he was Bruce.
Like his uncle.
Yeah.
Bruce. And he's like a timeless dude, like you don't he's called the Phantom Stranger for a reason.
It's supposed to be mysterious.
Right.
I pick up that Dan and Dio crap every once in a while, and it really is a story about like Judas
finding redemption.
Having problems with his domestic family.
That's so weird.
He has a domestic family. It's
really weird. It's really weird. It's you can go on and on about it for ages.
Because look how much you have. Like I think DC, I think is a little bit easier because I don't think they have the big deities like Marvel does.
Right. Yeah.
Like they have the Spectre. They have like every once in a while they have Trigon come up and I'll do like a really boring story about that.
Demon. You have your levels of demons.
The Etrigan. Yeah, you have like hell. They have very well mapped out. Right. They have Lucifer and they have all that stuff.
Right.
But they don't have like the cosmic bodies sitting around. They have the Source Wall.
Right.
And they have the Source Mall.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
You win. You win with that one today.
That's the last thing I read last night. Was Source Mall.
Anybody outside New York will not know.
The Source Mall. Yeah, but then we didn't have it. We don't have those type of storytelling, I guess, in DC, which is weird for a universe that is very much not steeped in reality at all.
Right, completely not steeped in reality. But the thing I was thinking about this the other day. One of the things I really love about the DC universe is the fact that all these dudes are actually not in one place.
Yeah,
like they're all in different places.
The concentration is definitely outside of New York.
Right, and like every single Marvel dude is like. They should call it like Infinity. It should just be like, we got to save New York instead of like the Earth, because nobody cares about the rest of the Earth.
You know what's weird? I've noticed over the years too that there's all the main DC dudes are all situated in like their own city, right? For the most part, and then there's like Gotham's got this many, and then Metropolis has this many characters that are situated in those cities. And I was always weirded out when they brought up New York, because I feel like New York almost shouldn't exist in DC.
Right, yeah.
And also like other major metropolitans. Like, why not? You got them in travel. Let's just use that. Why spread it out? But it's funny because they put Nightwing as like the travel guy. Like he's the only one that really goes to another, part of the country. He's like, he was in Bloodhaven. Right. And wherever the hell that is.
Right next to Gotham, apparently.
Yeah, right there. Like, why are you bothered?
See, you know what I always thought of Bloodhaven? Like Gotham City is Manhattan Island and Bloodhaven is the Bronx.
Yeah, but why would you move his character? Like, if you're gonna do something different, then why would you go like elsewhere, or like California or something like that?
Nope. I got to stay in an equally as crappy city.
Yeah, he went to New York.
Yeah,
he went from New York for a long time. That was like his base of operations. I think he's in Chicago now. Like, why is he the only dude that's allowed to like? You know what? I'm sick of this city.
Chicago needs me.
Chicago made Nightwing.
I think, Bub. I think Kyle Rayner was based in New York too, right?
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
He was like, I think the beginnings of them really like getting a New York character.
Actual cities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Washington D.C. Everyone has Washington D.C.
Yeah. Which is very
Because
weird.
you have to show like the shaded out Obama in the background.
Yeah, the funny thing about the DC stuff is like it's such a quick. They're like, well, how are we gonna have these guys in different cities and blah blah. Well, Superman's really fast.
Not
Flash,
a problem, man.
Super fast. Teleporters. Batman has a teleporter.
Travel has never been a problem for any comic book story.
No. But
How are we gonna get Wolverine all the way over?
oh, throw him, Bob. Just somebody throw me. I want to see a Wolverine Thor fastball special, but he rides the hammer.
Ooh, that'd be good.
I also really like what they do.
They killed Wolverine off in the last issue of Uncanny Avengers.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Nice.
What I really like, which I kind of find very interesting, with the whole stuff that they're doing with Thor for the past like year or whatever, like the Jason Aaron stuff,
Making him how
stuff
awesome
now.
he is.
They're making him. This is the awesomest Thor's ever been in anything.
Well, he's a
ever.
dude, man.
Yeah, he's a straight dude, and also like I like how they kind of like going back to the religion thing. How he kind of at that one story arc where he took it upon himself to answer. Like he can hear prayers from different parts of the universe, which I think is such a great touch for the character. Where he when he showed up on that planet,
Yeah, it was the God Killer story.
the beginning of the God Killer story, where he shows up on that planet, he's like, "Who are you praying to?" And he's like, "I don't know if my gods are here." And he's like,
I'll be here.
I'll be your god.
I'll get beat. I'll have sex with you women.
And then he goes and like does stuff, and then in the Infinity, I think it was the Infinity tie-in in Avengers, where he talks to what's that dude's name?
Which one?
Skids, the teleporter.
Oh, yeah. Edelon or whatever his name is.
I forgot his code name. Jades.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. That dude. I thought it's like
I'll get it.
But when he's like, I don't know, he's like the big teleporter for those who are trying to keep up with like the Marvel stuff on the Avengers. He's like a new character, and he can teleport anybody, anywhere, at any time, and any group of people. So
Eden Fessy, Manifold.
So he's been teleporting them into and out of these cosmic battles, and he's like, I don't know how you guys do this
I'm exhausted.
every day. I'm tired, man. We got one more. I don't know if I could do it. And Carol Danvers, and he's like, is it fate? Is it faith? And Carol Danvers is like, you got to put that aside and just punch something in the face. And then Cap is like, she's right. You're going to do it because you got to do it. We believe in you. And they walk away. And then Thor is like, I've known them forever, but they're wrong. He's like, every man has a destiny, and this is your destiny. Let's go. And he's totally like, I'm a god, like, of course I believe in destiny.
They're doing a lot. It's a really good explanation on like what drives this dude to do stuff.
Right.
But they've also I think they've like what Hickman's been doing, and Remender to another point also, because he does a really great job with his interactions with like the mutant population now too. He's like, why does everyone hate you guys? You're just like us. But he was like, I like the idea that he's kind of like the awesome smiling Superman.
Yeah.
He's how I have a problem with the smiling Superman thing. He is the perfect personification of that, because this dude will totally throw down and end up killing somebody if it came down to it.
He lives for murdering people.
He does. But they do a great job of having this as the benevolent guy. He's almost like this like Asgardian like cool bro god that hangs out with everybody.
Yeah, he's like the big brother. And
he's a voice of reason now a lot too.
Which is pretty nuts, because he has the most experience. But like I think it was on Infinity 2 when the issue that came out yesterday where they vanquished that one world, and like the whole issue was really good. About like Captain America's reaction to like freeing planets.
Well, that stuff was awesome.
That was awesome.
As a big Captain America fan, I live and die for seeing, like, I'll never get, like, how you never get tired of like Superman like doing the smile on the wink and flying on the planet. I never get sick, and I live and die for all these crossovers to see Captain America rally the troops. And I never get sick of it. And I like the fact that Hickman did this thing with the universes where it's like he treated each universe, each planet, as another Avengers team,
right?
And he's like, "We're gonna get the best together. I'm gonna rally the troops." And when they're lifting up that like the scrap metal A and like throw his hand in the bottle.
When he's like, the local fair is pretty good. They said this will burn a hole in a regular. I told him, you don't know Captain America.
It's like, I'm Captain America. I'll drink this.
And he drank poison.
Yeah, drank poison. He's dead now. But like I love that stuff, and I love because Iron Man's really been not a big part of the storyline for the first time in a long time,
right? Yeah,
he's been in the new Avengers stuff, but the two of them, as like Captain America as like secret weapon, like Thor as like his patent,
right?
Like taking down dudes is awesome.
Yeah. It's such a great combination. Plus, he's like Hickman has worked in like all the other Avengers really well. It's a really it's a crazy multi-layered story. And I feel like it hasn't really like I'm still anxious to see what happens next because you have
only one issue left. It's crazy.
Yeah, and then you have 2 more epilogues, I think, right?
Yeah, it's good stuff afterwards.
But like the story thus far is very layered, and you have like the Avengers being put to like their ultimate test and freeing planets and uniting with like Annihilus, the Shi'ar, the Skrulls,
scumbag father of Jason, scumbag
right,
father
like,
of Star-Lord,
the scumbag father, the Spartax Empire, and you have the Kree also. The Kree are awesome in this.
They've been really good.
And you know,
one of my favorite things so far this whole storyline was when Ronan like beat the crap out of the Supreme Intelligence tank.
Broke it.
This one hit.
And then like it's really cool like warrior stuff like when Cap was like, "Are you guys down for this?" and Kl'rt, the Super Skrull, was like, "I didn't bring my ships here for nothing, bro."
Yeah,
like,
well, it is. I think they took all the elements of Annihilation that we loved.
Yeah.
And threw in like the main superhero dudes, and they really made it work.
It really worked.
Yeah.
And then like the last page of issue 5 was them coming to Earth to take Earth back from the Builders or whatever. And Thanos is also there.
Yeah.
You know, which kind of fits into like a huge thing. And Black Bolt not dead. Black Bolt is
He's in a tube.
He's in a tube.
As usual.
And so is Thanos' son. I like the armor that they gave him.
I like it. There's like I wish they'd scale back a little bit with the complexity of the armor.
Okay.
I've never been a big fan of the people who have death touches and they need the containment armor to do it. But I think the face and everything looks incredible.
Yeah, it looks really cool, and I like the whole like you get like a little bit of like a new nerdy nuance with you know, like, oh, I'd be dead if I was in this Class A containment field.
Yeah,
and then Thanos is like, why is he in this Class A? Why is he in? I can't do anything. Why is he there? Why is my kid there?
Well, look at I think what's his name? Is it Ebony Maw? The one that
I think so.
Is the one that's like
the Whisperer
guy. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's trying to find some way to backstab all these dudes. I hope these guys stick around because actually they are really cool characters.
They're fascinating. Yeah.
The
Supergiant.
He's the big Supergiant is the one with the staff, right?
No, I think Supergiant's the chick.
Yes, and then the black dwarf dude is the big guy, right?
The guy sucks.
He's good. They're gonna do something big with that guy because he screwed up the first time, and now he's got a super mace.
You know who I wish was kind of in this, which was like from the Greg Pak run of Hulk, the Stone guy.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
Because the way, remember when Pak tied in the fact that like Thor killed his brother in Thor's first appearance?
Yeah.
And then he was just like floating around the universe.
The Saturn guy.
Yeah, like something like that would be really awesome for this, you know. But you have the dude from the Avengers movie who's in it. I forgot his name. Corvus. Was it Corvus?
Corvus Glaive?
Yeah.
He's the cloaked guy. Yeah.
He was in the Avengers flicks, and like now he's like
a main character,
really cool.
He's the one that's married to Supergiant.
I think so.
Yeah. He's the one with the black cloak and the staff.
Yeah. So you're gonna see a throwdown between all the Avengers and the Shi'ar and all these dudes versus Thanos, and the Builders and
whatever's happening with the time explosion,
right?
The incursion's about to happen, and then you also have there's another element story, the Gardeners. The Gardner Revolution,
right?
With cool ass Ex Nihilo. It's like his black skin.
I think this is gonna go down as the best non technically mainstream Avenger story.
Yeah, it's getting there. There's but I just feel that there's so much more. Unless the 6th issue was tremendous, but I feel like because we're just like I kind of knew going into it that you weren't getting a promise of a full-blown Thanos thing.
Right. Yeah.
But you are getting it at the very end at the climax of it. But there's so many, like the Builders thing obviously isn't finished yet. There's just so much going on there. I wish this was going on a little bit longer.
Me too. But I also feel like they're setting, like Hickman's setting something up, especially because we have not seen, and as a fan, you know, it's kind of like the go-to. We have not seen anything about the Infinity Gems yet, because the one there. There's the one that's still there. I always feel like these storylines end with like a major death or a major return.
Yeah.
And I really do think at some point you're gonna get Adam Warlock.
I hope so.
I always say that, you know.
I know. I always say it too. I really want Adam Warlock, especially for a Thanos storyline.
Or Star Fox showing up on a rainbow skateboard.
I think Thane is gonna get the Infinity Gem.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be the one thing that keeps him alive from Thanos.
Or maybe Thane takes over for Thanos, or
there hasn't been a death, right? Usually by issue 3 there's a death or something like that.
I think that the major death is coming up in number 6. Maybe, you never know.
We should also talk about that Iron Man thing too. That Iron Man reveal.
Right. Yeah.
Did you read that? Yeah?
I didn't read it yet, but talk about it, man. I'm into it.
So they made. I'm glad you are.
I'm real into it, bro.
So they've had this long storyline with there's this one. There's the race of the recorders, and this one road recorder was a guy who kind of orchestrated Tony's design for the most part,
quote unquote.
So he went to his parents and said like, your universe is gonna fall apart. I'm gonna genetically engineer your baby where he's gonna be able to elevate the entire human race and take on like alien threats and pilot this crazy armor.
Well, his whole thing was that wasn't like the baby sick.
Yeah. So
Right.
so when it was born, it's rapidly dying. Like it's just deteriorating as soon as it's born. So the parent Howard and Maria Stark.
Yeah, I think so.
I think Howard and Maria. His parents say like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do a decoy. We're gonna create a decoy baby. So they adopt another baby and say that's the birth kid they had.
Right.
Turns out that kid is actually Tony.
Right.
And the real kid is sitting in a hospital room, secretly controlling like Stark Industries inside of like a bubble named Arno Stark, which is the Iron Man 2020, because we're almost right there.
Right.
We're almost there. So, he's not being set up as a bad guy or anything, or at least it's gonna happen.
Right. Yeah.
But as of right now, Tony is in this dilemma where he doesn't really have an identity.
Right.
He doesn't know what the hell to do with himself. He doesn't think he's a Stark anymore. So it's a cool little element they threw into this thing.
I think you're gonna have like a reverse reveal at some point too. Where like he's actually the second kid or something like that, or like
I hope they don't pull a
he's
Snyder.
He's
I don't want Snyder.
Arno Stark he's Arno Stark's kid.
Don't do that. Tony's. I like it. Because I like Tony is a character that's amazingly well tortured.
Right.
And, and he operates he's like a Batman where you throw the most at this guy. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
I hope they do reverse on this. I really like to see this stick.
More Arno.
More Arno, man. We've been asking for Arno since as long as we've been working together. I think
so. Yeah.
So that's a long time. I also would really like to see down the line. I don't think they're planning on doing the same time soon. Is revealing who the parents are and seeing if you can maybe do a little tying in Telebio like he's Wolverine's, like he's a Howlet.
Hey.
But it'd be great one day he finds out he can pop claws.
This is a Wolverine son.
That
My kid.
my kid. He's Logan's fault.
Give me some money. It's the Marvel universe is really top notch.
And Battle of the Atom wrapped up too.
Battle of the Atom. I didn't read the last one.
It was I
saved it.
It was good. It was a good solid ending, but I can't say it's another book that really
Didn't do it for you.
No, I loved it. But it wasn't a thing that had like this tremendous like surprise again.
Okay.
Kid just told me I look like Iron Man.
We were just talking about Iron Man.
Iron
So
Man.
funny.
You
He's
know,
you look like Tony Stark.
Because you do like Tony Stark. You have the same hair and the same.
Because you look like Tony Stark, and the guy goes, "You stupid! It's Tony Stark."
Tony Stark. Anthony Stark.
Did you tell the kid that you're doing a podcast right now?
No, but I got really uncomfortable. One of the kids goes, "I know you from the internet, from Facebook."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Ooh," and then he's like, "You look like my friend Seth."
Ah, you do look like
Like-
you do like
I
Seth.
do look
Seth.
like
Yeah.
Seth.
I
I
always,
got really uncomfortable.
all the time. Like I'm about to say to Andrew, like, how much do you look like Seth?
You should have told the kid you were Tony Stark.
I am Tony Stark.
Come and look at the TV show we're making.
You should have told him that we were just talking about Tony Stark. We were literally just talking about Tony Stark.
I thought about opening like the shade and stuff while we were doing that.
Sure, why not?
Show
Do it.
him that you're busy.
Show him that this guy's making network TV right now.
Look what I'm doing. I'm reinventing the future right now.
You guys are interrupting my TV show on the internet.
Eating Fessy.
Eden Fessy, let's get out of here.
Eating Fessy.
Floor de lore. Comics, man. Marvel's killing it. Marvel's killing it hardcore right now.
Not so much DC, man.
I know.
This week was like all annuals, all written by.
I passed
And
on all
exactly.
dog.
And they're all written by other people. Like Jay and the Mattias doing one. I think he did a Nightwing one. I picked up, I think one of them. I think I picked up the one of the Batmans. I think.
Yeah.
Did you get the Andy Kubert
I didn't read it yet.
Damien thing?
Yeah. Is it stupid?
Art's really nice. The book is absolutely a piece of garbage.
Oh man, come on, you're killing me.
It is. It's a reminder that certain people should not be allowed to write comic
Is it the
books.
return of Damien or no?
No. It's an alternate reality storyline of like Damien's a little bit older and
He's Robin. Tim Drake.
he's Robin and Batman gets blown to pieces.
Awesome.
And he's trying to like, I gotta get revenge.
Trying to put them back together.
But it's like, it's district. It's like if the story was written immediately after Batman and Robin came together. So it's not like none of the Leviathan stuff happened. Like he talks to Ra's al Ghul, and he talks to his mother,
Okay.
and all this stuff. Read it. It's interesting.
It sucks. I'm sorry. It's dumb.
It's interesting.
Did you?
Jack Nape is in it though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I really liked from last week?
What's that?
FF.
It was a crazy book, man.
Really, really great issue.
That was the one with they're riding Impossible Man's underwear.
Yeah.
He's not wearing gloves.
I want more of that. Like that was like that.
Two more issues left.
That needs the Eisner. That for something.
Yeah. See, here's my thing. I'm
tell me.
not a fan of Fantastic Four, the regular book.
It's weird.
I don't think it's ever reached the place where it should have reached.
Yeah.
And that I knew it immediately when he poorly identified
Julius Caesar.
I kind of like the Caesar thing. The Caesar thing grew on me.
I like it better than FF.
I do too. That he's like the guy behind the curtain for like everything. That he's the shape shifting alien is Julius Caesar. I'm not a fan of the fact that he has some type of unstable molecules tied to the power.
Okay.
That's what making him fall apart. But the FF book, I love it when it's focused on the kids.
Yes.
I don't really love the actual core team. I like what they're doing with Scott Lang. I think it's the best he's been.
Yeah.
But I'm not crazy about the rest of them.
You don't like She-Hulk?
No, I like her. She's good, but like the kids are so much more interesting.
The kids are way interesting.
All their storyline, like the the stuff with Doom, like blackmailing Alex Power, and like the new kid and the Apostle Man kid and Bentley and like old John Storm is awesome.
Yeah.
Did you read that old John Storm reveal about that like the weirdo universe he comes from?
Yes. Yeah.
Where he's like there's like the weird like Dr. Druid Reed Richards.
Right.
It's like Giant Storm's dad.
That was really cool. See, that was really, really cool. And he's black, right?
No, there was a black dude on the team though.
Yeah.
Sue Storm was black.
Yes.
But they were brother and sister, but he wasn't black.
Right. Yeah. I remember that.
Weird story.
It was a weird story. What I really liked about that FF book also was I like the like number one, the art is friggin' out of this world. But the light, I love lighthearted Doom. When he's talking to Kid, what was it, Kid Immortus?
Oh yeah.
And that whole interaction where he's like, "So is this thing gonna work?" He's like, "I don't know. Is this thing gonna work? I don't know. Are we gonna travel back in time and stop them? I don't know. I really don't know." And he like chokes him like a bit, and he's like, "You're pretty useless to me." Another funny part that I really liked in I think it was Uncanny Avengers when Cap gets his ears blown out.
Oh, he's shouting at everybody,
and he's yelling at everybody. And there's that one scene with Wasp and Havoc, and she's like, like when this is over, like we're gonna have to go somewhere and blah blah blah. And Havoc's like, all right, like not in front of Cap, not in front of the living legend. And then he's like, I think she likes you, because his head got blown up.
There's something going on with them, right? There is like, I think this Scarlet Witch is trying to make everyone romance each other.
I think so.
Everyone's trying to bang each other. Wasp is like, can't come on to like Havoc, Captain America.
Yep.
I think
she likes you.
I think she likes you. That book is good. And Wolverine's dead.
Wolverine's dead.
The
book is so good, and all the Horsemen look friggin' insane.
Oh, they were so good. I hope they do something with them that they actually do stick around for a bit.
I feel like the Banshee, not the Banshee stuff, the Sentry stuff is going to play out into something bigger.
I would like to see the Banshee stuff. Yeah. I would like to see him stick around like this.
Yeah, just like really cruel and
mean Irish guy. Yeah,
mean Irish guy. And the Reaper, I don't think the Reaper stuff was touched on in the last issue.
Not this one.
But it's weird how like these dudes are like, I want to see where it goes with the Wanda stuff, especially because it's interesting how these guys are like these super omnipresent like villains and they know everything, but she's whispering to Simon, saying like Wonder Man, like we're gonna fool them. And we're gonna kiss me. We're gonna fool them, right? And he's like, I believed in you.
I knew I'm not gonna punch anybody. Right?
Yeah, best. Let's go. And then
he's pathetic, man. I love Wonder Man, but he's pathetic.
Mm-hmm. Well, because
slave.
Yeah, he's. I think Go ahead.
Well, he was like brought back to life by her. Like he's not
Right.
even a real human being. He's like a construct.
He's a
from
figment
nothing.
of her
Like
imagination.
her kids. Like,
Yeah.
she's like Wonder Man.
It's like the Scarlet Witch character is so insane at this point. And who'd have thought either? Like when you read like all this stuff when you were a kid, like how far it would go. I think the crazy baby hands was like
Love it.
tipped everybody off to
That was
the insanity of the character.
If you guys can go back, it's great West Coast Avengers stuff from John Byrne. Pick up the original Master Pandemonium storyline when you get the baby hands, and when you get to see like Wanda with the short hair doing something weird to Wonder Man's penis off camera, and Magneto in a flying house. It's a crazy storyline. White Vision.
Yeah. I kind of like White Vision. I miss that dude.
One of my favorite versions of Vision. I liked White Vision for a very long period of time. I like the combo. I liked when they did like the red face and the cloak is green and the hood's green and then like the body's all white.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was like the return of Vision.
Have you been keeping up with the Shield at all or no?
TV show or
Yeah.
the wrestling team?
Both.
Yes and no. The TV show, unfortunately, not. I really, it's tough.
Yeah,
It's a tough show to watch.
I caught like an episode. I think before we went on our trip. That I think it was Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Tuesday night, and
It's hokey as all hell, man.
I'm sitting with the girl, and she's like, "Is this even good?" I'm like, "I don't know. I don't think so." She's like, "Who's that guy?" And I'm like, "I'm not really sure, but I really hope it's Shang-Chi." And it wasn't. It's not. That's awesome. I was like, I hope it's Shang-Chi. You know, and it's not. It was like some dude. Like I think you should. Did you see this? There's I don't
Spoil
know,
me, I don't care.
I don't know who the lady character is, but I think she's a villain, and she's talking like this Asian dude, and I'm assuming he can light stuff on fire. I didn't watch the entire episode. I just saw this one interaction, and she's like, "You should give up your given name and adopt another name. How about Scorch?" And he's like, and the dude's like, he's like, "I don't know about this. I want to help people. I want to find out who I am."
Scorch.
But then he turns around and he's like, "But I think Scorch is growing on me." Really? Like you couldn't do if you're debuting an Asian character, make the dude Shang-Chi. You know, that's it.
They're really trying to hold back on the tie-ins to the rest of the universe. And like,
Apparently,
it's very cringy. I think it has a potential of getting there, but it's very ABC.
it is
I can't watch like
Scorch.
I'll DVR it and I'll watch Sons of Anarchy and I'm gonna try and get the Shield. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah. I missed Sons this week.
Good episode,
Yeah,
man.
it's good stuff. I
This
like.
weekend so good. Last week wasn't that great.
What was last
Last week was all
week?
Goggins.
When oh my god, every show needs a little bit of Goggins.
Yeah, I appreciate it, but it was back to like the gang hanging out in town, like driving around, doing stuff.
Did you get as grossed out as Chibs did during that episode?
About Goggins?
Yeah.
He's a very attractive woman.
I find that I like she hated it. She was like, "It's so stupid," and I'm like, "But this is so great because you get to see Goggins be a transvestite for 45 minutes.
He's fantastic.
And you also get to see Tiggs like falling in love with her during the entire episode.
Oh, the arm around her at the
like,
end, yeah.
She's telling the story about the abuse and all that, and he's like, "Oh, baby."
It's like, I'll take you away from all this. He's great.
It's hysterical. And then you get like the new dudes who I think they're all gonna die.
They're all awesome though. I really dig the guy who looks like a mini Undertaker.
Who the
I mean Mark Galloway. The
dude the guy kind of looks like he could be like Ogre's kid from like,
or he
Revenge
could be
of the
like a
Nerds.
biohazard or something like that. Like,
Yeah,
that guy.
And then you get the new guy,
The Rat.
D'Artagnan. I call him D'Artagnan. I told you that theory.
Yeah.
Which the girlfriend hates that.
D'Artagnan.
They keep doing the voice like, "Why am I riding a motorcycle? What is this? What am I doing here?"
Good man.
It's the facial hair.
yeah.
But that was a weird episode too when Tara threw herself onto the
I didn't see that coming, man.
onto the hospital table. Are you doing a show after this?
Apparently not.
No, I'm going out.
Oh, okay. Are you waiting for us to go out?
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, bro.
Let's do it, baby.
He turned the lights off.
3:00. I know. I saw it.
All right. I got to get out of here, too.
Me too.
So, thank you once again. This has been The Return of Behind the Counter. We'll see you next week. I'm Rich Stambolian.
And I'm Jerf.
Jerfin.